Yo, we're live. What's up, guys? Oh yeah, I gotta figure out my chat thing here. I always mess this up. There we go. All right, what's up? Welcome. So today I figured I would do these live videos more like topic based. I was stoked to just do my live video last week, so I just figured, yeah, I was gonna do a video a week that was live. I was preferring like a Wednesday or something, but I was out of town with no reception anywhere. So yeah, here on a Friday. I just got back yesterday, and we're gonna do this live video. So yeah, all my live videos are just gonna be topic based. I don't want to just go into them open, so that way, if you guys have specific questions about things, you guys could just ask, and we could just talk to them all like together as well, like a group discussion in the comments and everything about like whatever it is that might be going on. So yeah, what I basically wanted to talk about today is like say here's my build and how consistency matters when just flying mini quads. And what I mean by consistency is just using all the same equipment. If you were to look at any of my quads, actually let me grab another one. All right, sorry, I'm back. So basically, these are like two quads I use. These are the two quads I brought for me for the last shoot I was on. And if I hold them this way, you could see they are identical, except for this one has like the GoPro mount on it, and this one has a foam little wedge mount on it for the HD cam. And yeah, the motors, everything, the FCs are the same. I have the 4-in-1 KISS FCs. Everything, the setup to just how it's built and the standoff height, everything. Nothing's changed. And why I do that, for the most part, I could also say this is going to go for people that are shooting like jobs and footage and just having fun as a hobby. Is wait, the reason I say to you is because, oh shoot, this thing always messes up on me with the comments. Sorry to stop with you guys. I just didn't want to miss anything. So the reason I have both of these set up this way is if something goes wrong with either one of these, this is like the main reason. I know exactly what it is that's going wrong, and I could always fix everything because it's always going to be the same case. In the other sense of things, when I tune something, I could put the same tune on basically both of these, and everything's the same. If if a motor goes out on this one and I'm out on a shoot or something, I could steal parts from this one if I have to, if I didn't bring spares. I could just keep going on with things that are good to why these are just good to have the same exact setup. Another thing is just when you're flying, so this goes with like if you're going out for flying like hobby wise and everything, and you're looking to get better at flying, it's good to have the same setup, the same quad, everything exactly the same, and just keep flying it, and don't upgrade to like different things. Like if you see like new motors that are out that are completely different than you're normally flying, and you go and get those, or you like the newest FC or like whatever, like you're switching from like Betaflight to KISS to Flight 1 or whatever it's called now, race flight. Yeah, changing to all those things, you're never really going to progress and get better if you're always changing your equipment all the time and using the same equipment just over and over and over. It's going to make you better. You're going to get used to what it does, what's going wrong with it, everything. Like what you need to change. If it's doing something weird, you know exactly how to change things up and fix it. So for the most part, if I do change anything, it might be like my receiver module. That doesn't really matter as long as it like works with the Crossfire. But this is like the Nano. I went from the Micro to the Nano, so that doesn't really matter. VTX, since I'm running full KISS with the 4-in-1 and everything. I don't have OSD. I switched over to the Evo, TBS Evo VTX, because that had the OSD in it. So things like that don't matter, but I would not recommend switching like flight controllers and having to use like a different type of, you know, GUI to set things up and stuff like that. If you're used to KISS, just stick with KISS. I went to like I left KISS V1 because I was always having trouble tuning with it, and I went over to basically just the KISS. Well, I went over to Betaflight, tried that, it was okay. Tried whatever that one was, the Helio stuff, that was okay. And yeah, they just disappeared. I actually liked how that felt, because it felt close to KISS, and it was pretty easy to tune. And then Steele was like, dude, just try the new V2 KISS stuff. I'm pretty sure you'll go back to KISS. And yeah, he was right. So the V2 stuff definitely works a lot better than any other like KISS stuff I've ever messed with, just in general. Well, there was only the KISS V1, but the actual like the firmware for the KISS V2, everything, it's all better than like any of the past firmwares. I always had trouble with like the tuning parameters on it. I felt with a 6-inch quad, I ran out of like tuning capability, or however you want to say, like the parameters weren't wide enough for me to dial it in. And with the V2, it feels like it widened that, and I'm able to tune it a lot better, and they have like better filtering and everything. But that is like basically the topic I want to talk about. I guess I could quickly say like the only reason I have a GoPro mount on this one is when I go do jobs, sometimes I might use a 360 camera, or I might have to use some other type of camera to mount on here, and pretty much everything accepts a GoPro mount from all these companies. Like there's a way to mount it. It makes it real easy to mount it onto here. This last shoot I was on, I never even touched that quad. I used this same quad, 0 incidents, the whole shoot, same props, didn't change props, didn't do anything. I did add on this one the little like Uma grip, I think this is, or Nomo gel, or whatever it's called, one of them, just to like bring the height up on the wedge a little bit, because I had to bring my, like I was squishing the wedge. That's what's kind of nice about these wedges too. If you're on a job, if you look at this, hold on, you can see this is like I think 30 degrees, and I had to like bring my angle down like almost straight, because in some spots like the guys that were at the shoot that I was chasing, they were going pretty slow, so I'm able to just pull it down like this. See how it squishes down? You can't do that with a 3D mount. With a wedge you can. So I'm able just to like really crank down on the front of the GoPro with the strap here. It pushes this down, and yeah, you get like de-angle in a sense. Hey, thanks Adam, like I got $1 from you. I don't think I ever really get any donations. That was sick. Who was that again? I just saw Adam Weston. Thanks, dude. Let me catch up on comments. Michael, what's up? Yeah, having multiple builds, double aces, having multiple builds is like doing a first build every time. That's so true. 3 trick, I don't know, it was there's only so many tricks that we could do, so everybody was always asking for something like do a Matty flip or something, and just like kind of, I don't know, it gets old sometimes. Maybe we'll bring it back. Let's see, Gaining Ground says, I only disagree if you plan on being the best. I change everything all the time, and I will be one of the best. Okay, well, you could define like changing stuff like all the time. I mean, it just depends. Like I said, you could change stuff around, but if you're like if you use one frame all the time, you're used to the characteristics on how this frame is going to fly. I could pick up like anybody's quad and probably fly it the same, yeah, but I don't have like I'm not going to rely on it, is basically like what I'm saying also, is like I could rely on this. I relied on this for a shoot that I have to rely on something for. I'm getting paid to basically make sure that everything goes smoothly. I could rely on this for everything to go smoothly. And if it's doing anything weird, since I fly it so much and it's the same exact thing, I know what it's going to do. So yeah, in a sense, it does help a lot just to stick to your same gear all the time, and you are going to get better. It's like if you drive one car all the time and you know how it handles, and then you switch to another car and you don't know how that's handling, then you're not going to have so much trust in it. But yeah. G3RFPV, thanks man for the donation as well. I appreciate it. John Lambert, yeah, ask a question. Go ahead. Clown FPV, I'll get to that question in a second here. I just want to make sure. Oh, and also gaining ground. I just read your thing. I do have one quad. That's like my experimental quad. These two are like my go-tos all the time, basically. I do have one that like I do try prototype stuff and things we're working on, but I'm not gonna like trust that for anything. That's what I'm talking about is mainly for like what I'm doing is like just being able to be consistent with your gear so that way you can trust your gear. All right, so where was these questions? Sorry, I have to like go through this. I wish there was a better way for me to handle this stuff. So Clown FPV said, hey dude, have you ever flown with a bottom mount LiPo? Any tips to smooth out the pendulum effect? I tried bottom mount LiPos probably like a year and a half ago. I had one quad that I tried with it, and yeah, the issue I would have, and I can always notice it, was when going through, say, like a tree or whatever it is that had a narrow gap, instead of being able to drop the throttle and just have like this perfect like roll or whatever flip going through, the bottom weight, as soon as you would do it, would kind of like what he's saying, like a pendulum effect. Like the weight makes the roll wider, and so you might hit like, you know, the edge of the tree or something. You have to like set up for it different. So roll to the right, I would set up a little left, get through. And there's no real way like out of it except going to a top mount and having everything on the top rail, and it just locks it in straight exactly where you're shooting through something. So being able to like smooth it out, no, there's not really a way to smooth it out other than just go to a top mount. Let's see, what other questions do we got here? Sorry, like I'm doing this on my phone, so sometimes if I poke the screen, it might jiggle the actual camera. John Lambert said, my quad, when going upside down, it shuts down, and the startup sound, I missed it. It just goes away. It's so annoying. The startup sound comes on. That sounds like there's just an issue, like a hardware issue on it. Could be like the wiring's not correct, or something's wrong with the board. Yeah, it just loses power or something. If you crashed it quite a bit already, then it might just be a hardware issue. How many quads do you have at the moment? I have two that I fly with all the time. One that is like a prototype testing one, and then one that is going to be out soon that we're kind of just same thing, prototyping. And yeah, let's see. The drone bloke asked, did you ever fly 6S on your moon boots, and what kind of amps can I expect to draw at full throttle? I did test these up to 6S to make sure they wouldn't burn up. Amps were higher. I think I want to say they were like pulling like 80 or 90 amps. But I have a low kV 6S version out right now. It's a 1739 kV instead of the 2200 kV, and yeah, you could definitely use those for 6S and have very low amp draw. Um, let's see. G9 says, hello, Konasty. What do you think is the best KV for a 6-inch quad 2408 size motor? Mine are 2407, and I put them at 1739 kV. I don't know about 2408. I haven't flown motors that big. Ted Elmenheim asks, have you ever tried the Falco X firmware? It's so nice. I haven't. I'm just flying KISS, and that's all I use and stick with. I haven't tried it. If you like it and you enjoy it, definitely stick with it. Don't change into anything else. That's kind of like what this topic's about. If you think it's really nice, then just keep flying it, and don't change to anything else. Double A, I'm sure you don't fly 3-inch much or at all, but do you have a go-to light 3-inch frame you recommend? I do have a 3-inch frame I recommend that we are coming out with. Stay tuned. You guys are gonna love it. I think it's sick. Adam Dalton asks, tuning for S versus tuning for 6 versus tuning for 5 and 6S. Okay, confused about that question. Willie Watts says, Willie just did a video on lowering rates to around 600. What do you think? I haven't watched that video yet. I'm not sure why he lowered his rates down to 600, so I can't really comment on that, but I would just think that if he went that low to 600, maybe he's just trying to smooth out his flights and the flight characteristics and everything. Higher rates are a lot more snappier and just crazy, and yeah, I mean, I run mine around 800 pitch and roll, so they're not super high, and at least to me, that's not super high. And then I run my yaw sometimes around like 600, somewhere around there, and it actually does seem pretty quick still when I do that. Herbie FPV says, so one is the new Apex. So one is the new Apex. I'm not sure what that one means. Marlito FPV asks, should I make the leap to 6S? I still get great flight times with 4S and have been moving more to 6 and 7-inch. So if you're looking for flight times with 6 and 7-inch props, you could totally stick to 4S. I mean, 6S is very efficient, but it also brings on weight. But it's very efficient for like ripping pretty hard. So if you were on a 6-inch quad and you had to do like chase scenes and you had to be traveling at a very high speed and you still needed some efficiency, 6S would have the power to really get you able to chase footage of anything really good and still be efficient, not just burn through your battery. To where a 4S, you would burn through it really fast, you'd overheat your battery probably and have really puffy lipos. If you're just going for like long range flying, 4S, like you could get a fat 4S pack on a 7-inch motor, and yeah, you'd be pretty good. You could get really far. I know guys are using my 2200 kV motor on these like fat 4S bricks, like I don't know, Jet was telling me in Vegas that he's flying with guys and they're doing long range and they're getting like 4 miles out and back or something like that, which is just insane on a 4S pack. Do you put a capacitor on each KISS ESC? This is from Loose Prop FPV. I don't. I'm running the 4-in-1, which doesn't require a capacitor. But if you are using the 30, I think it's what, 32 amp, the individual ESCs, you are required to put a capacitor on there. Herbie FPV says, talking about the prototype frames, is one the new Impulse frame? No, that's like through Impulse. The one I'm talking about is we have a frame like that we're doing with ethics. That is what I was talking about for the prototype frames. The impulse one is completely different, but it's really cool. Joseph Jr. says, why do you use 6" so much than 5". So that's a good question. So a couple reasons. This is why I enjoy 6" quads, and I think I'm just gonna stop like my V2 frame I'm working on. I'm not even gonna like call it a 6" frame, because there's like not misconceptions, but how do I explain this? People think that just because this is a 6" frame means you can only use 6" props on it, and that's not true. I like a frame big enough that I could use 6" props because it's really versatile to me. I like everything being able to use like one quad. I could use it consistently and use it for a couple different jobs. So having a 6" frame, I could put a bigger prop on it. I could cover more ground quickly if I need to. I could do long range with it, which is also awesome. I could fly pretty aggressive freestyle with it, which is also awesome. It's like a good middle ground. Now, if I want to get something like more stable video and have something really locked in, more than a 6" would be, and I'm talking about like really smooth, really buttery looking stuff, if I need to, I could put 5" props on this quad with these motors, and since this is a bigger platform, it's really, really stable. Your turns, everything become really stable just because it has a bigger footprint. So if you have a smaller footprint like a 5" quad with 5" props, it just basically has the same characteristic as if I put 6" props on a 6" frame. So that's why you see a lot of guys that kind of go into the cinematic stuff. Even I think like Jet's frame, I forget what it's called. You guys know what I'm talking about. The one that is what is that frame called? It's gonna bug me now. Somebody say it in the comments. But yeah, so his frame, he kind of wants it more for like cinematic type of stuff, like long range and everything. His frame, it's a dead cat. I know it's a dead cat setup, but I forgot what his actual frame is called. Super G. All right. Yeah, thanks. The Super G, if you look at that one, that's like, you could get a 7" configured frame and run 6" props on it. I think he runs 6" with a 7" frame. He does exactly the same thing when he wants it really smooth. Like, so he'll run like a 6" with 5" props, or a 7" frame with 6" props. And yeah, like he's got it figured out. He knows what's up, and that's why he does that. Now somebody like Steel sticks with 5". Steel flies very aggressive, and everything that he does is just very quick. He has a certain style of flying, and a 5" frame with a 5" prop setup, and he just has his frame dialed in. Everything's really locked, and that goes down to consistency again. Of he has his setup, and it's like super good with what he's doing. So that is why I prefer this, though. This is my way of doing things, and it's running a 6" frame, and when I need it to do something else, I can. And it's funny when you think about it, like people are like, oh, like, you know, you have to have certain frames to do certain things, or have like a cinematic frame to do cinematic things. I'm out shooting commercials or doing jobs and everything with this frame. It doesn't have to be specifically cinematic, should I say. Like, this frame does it all for me. Now, if I want to go into like cinematic, like going through tiny gaps and having something that's like different, yeah, then that I would call maybe like a cinematic quad in a sense, because that's a very specific need to fill. So when you go on these jobs and these guys want you to go really slow through like a window and then follow somebody like walking or whatever and doing this, or like going through trees or something, yeah, like this wouldn't be able to do it just because it's kind of too big. But if you had like a small like 3 or 4" or something that could fit through these things, and you just dialed it in a certain way, that would definitely make it a lot more like specifically for it being cinematic for footage. But yeah, I mean, you could look at like Steel, Johnny, any of those dudes that everybody's seen a lot of stuff out of. Also, they're using their 5-inch quads and they're doing really awesome stuff with it. So, yeah, it just depends. There's a platform for all kinds of things. So, let me see some other questions. Katie, a little off topic, but it says, "Yo, will Ethics make a battery bag?" Yeah, I believe it's going to go live in, I don't know, next week or something. It's going live really quick, and it is freaking amazing. Actually, it's really amazing. Uh, I can't wait. Literally told Steele, I was like, dude, I wish I had those battery bags already because I could have just used them on this last shoot because it was like freezing balls, and this thing would have been perfect for it. If that's any other hint to what's coming, then you should know. Price range? I don't know the price range on it yet. Yeah, I'm not sure. Holy crap, Joseph Jr., thanks for $10. And Double A, thanks, dudes. Dude, you guys are like blowing me away with these donations. It's insane. Thanks, Double A. Alright, let's see. There's some stuff further up here. Lucky Me, FPV, like, thanks too for your donation. Jesus, you guys are crazy. Johnson just learned the importance of capacitors on certain builds. Today, I almost replaced my VTX because I didn't notice my capacitor broke loose. I had so much noise, it was unflyable. Why is that? Why is it that it was getting noisy, or why the capacitors work so well to take out the noise? It just has to do with like, well, I mean, especially if you're using more voltage, you probably have, the more voltage you put through your system, the more noise you'll get. Actually, I got noise before too from like using carbon props. It was like 4 just discs spinning of like noise hell, and made my video like almost unusable. This was all you guys yelling Super G at me. Okay, where am I here? Fahua FPV, I'm doing a small video project for myself with my favorite pilots. Could you please say Fahua FPV? Watching from China. Fahua FPV. There, I said it 3 times. Herbie FPV asks, best place to buy ethics products in the States? I always use Heli Nation. They are pretty quick getting product in from you. Are they pretty quick at getting product in from you guys? Yeah, they're a pretty good dealer of ours, and we are just moving over to Get FPV. They're going to be like our exclusive US dealer for everything ethics. They're going to carry the full line of every product, and every new product that comes out, they will have it in stock for you guys right away. Really stoked on the partnership that we're going to be having with them. So if you need something, you can check them out, and we are updating our website with a full dealer list. So if there's anybody that you're trying to find something from in your area because you like their fast shipping and everything because they're close to you, you could go onto our website, check the dealer list, and be able to find them. That should be done like all within next week, and hopefully that helps you guys find the product a lot quicker. GFPV says, is that the battery bag me and Steele had a conversation about at Nats? If so, y'all better be freaking excited as hell for it. Best damn idea ever. I'm pretty sure that that is the battery bag you guys are talking about. Von Zek says, are those commercials that you shot online? Can we see them? The one I just finished, I think it's going to be like a couple months or something before they edit it. Another last one me and Steele did, the NBA All-Star Games. You could probably still see that online. All the like like bumper in, bumper out shots and everything that they had. All that, that was all done by us. Any ethics suppliers in Europe? Yeah, there's quite a bit in Europe actually. I think we have like one in Germany, one in the UK. Um, yeah, there's a few out there. Lucky Me FPV says RDQ. I'm not sure. RDQ. Oh, Race Day Quads. Yeah. So Race Day Quads is supposed to be carrying our stuff. I'm not sure what they got in yet or what they're ordering exactly, but they asked if they could get ethics stuff, and we said of course. What happened? G3 asked what happened to Newbie Drones for them being the major dealer. The nothing really happened with them. It's just that right now they have a lot of focus on their micro stuff, and yeah, I mean everything's cool, relationship, everything's good over there. We just had a talk with them and said, you know, like I know you guys want to focus a lot more and work on your micro stuff, which is totally acceptable by us, because that's their main market. And yeah, it's kind of like a thing where we're like, if you go to their website, you're most likely looking for micro stuff. Ethics is mostly like the bigger quad stuff. So if you would go buy something there, say like a Mr. Steel motor or whatever it is, just say a motor for instance, and then you wanted to buy a certain frame or like maybe other components, like you're building a whole quad, then yeah, you couldn't fulfill your, like say your whole checkout at one place because they're mostly focused on micro stuff. Now if you go to Get FPV, you could build out a whole quad and use like maybe some ethics stuff and buy like a certain frame you wanted or whatever, and basically put together a whole order over there. So it just made more sense for you guys as a customer to buy from someone that you could pick everything for a bigger quad. So yeah, we just did that as like more of like an educated change for our customers, but it wasn't anything like political or like burning of a bridge or anything, whatever. There's no drama. It was just like, hey, let's, you know, focus things somewhere else. They're still gonna carry like our stuff and everything. It's yeah, but the best part is if you get it from Get FPV and you're on the East Coast, then most likely, you know, you're gonna get stuff pretty quick. If you're on the West Coast, Newbie Drone ships super fast from the West Coast, so you could always pick them as well. So yeah, if there's still just stuff you just want to buy, just ethics stuff, and you're not worried about building anything out, you can still go to Newbie Drones. George Hall asks, is ethics yours and Steel's company? It's me, Steel, and Trappy, TBS Trappy. And more Team Failsafe stuff, please. I know we need to update our Team Failsafe website with some more stuff. Let's see. Katie asked, you have any plans to travel Europe? Remember, Scotland's still on offer. Yeah, if I find some time, I just need to find time to go to Europe. That would be cool. I want to go there with the whole family and be able to rip as well. Maxi Sony asks, why do you transfer from Tyrannus to QX7? I am actually like flying the Tyrannus still. I went to the QX7 for a while, tried to like that format of a radio, and yeah, I didn't really enjoy it too much, so I went back to the Tyrannus. The size just feels better in my hands and where the switches are and everything. Gaining Ground says, it's you guys and Trappy, and that L Immortal isn't a thing yet. Oh, yeah, no, the L Immortal isn't a thing yet. Like, dude, we've been running this forever. Like, even when all the guys tried the other Immortal T, we were still like, no, this is like the way to go. The Immortal T is cool in like another aspect, like using it for the diversity receiver. So you could run the L in the back and the diversity up the front. So that's kind of cool. But I wouldn't just run the Immortal T like for myself, to be honest. But Trappy You could go on his website. He did do a version basically of the Mortal L, but it's not there yet. It's like this little mount, a plastic mount, and it has the two things going out. One's like red, I think one's black. It just didn't work very well. So we're just sticking with making our own still for right now with some zip ties and some shrink wrap, and it works super good. Been doing it like that for years. Let's see. UL Adamus asks, how do you keep the passion to fly? That's easy. Just find something that you enjoy doing. Like, I enjoy flying no matter what. If it's like in the back of the shop over here in just a random little parking lot area, or going to a spot, doing a commercial type of thing, doing whatever. I just enjoy just flying. It's like a good little like escape for things. I don't have to like feel a pressure for flying. If you're feeling a pressure to do anything, I suggest you stop doing it. And it doesn't matter what it is or who it is or any of that stuff. If you feel pressure from anything, just get it out of your life and you'll be okay. Let's see here. What up from Louisiana? That was Antoine FPV. Okay, let's see. G3 FPV Immortal L tilts so many people. It's great. Joseph Jr. says, speaking of flying, do you enjoy flying or building? I enjoy flying. I built this thing and it just like keeps going. Like, I don't build that much just because I use the same thing. If something breaks, it's usually just like something basic. Maybe I bent a bell or like, you know, broke a camera lens or something like that. Something very basic. And I just keep flying this same thing over and over and over. Yeah, I don't really change much. Like, same thing with this one. It's like, I don't know. You can see by like the arms too and everything. Like, look how shaved these are. Like on both sides, they're all like eaten away. I just don't change them much. Sometimes like the arm, the carbon, after using this carbon and not changing it for a really long time, the carbon gets soft and you might start getting more vibrations and things, and like the impact from like crashes and stuff just softens up the carbon, and you know it just because it's not flying like normal. And it's probably an arm or something that's like really soft and should be changed out. It's the only time I really change anything outside of something breaking. And I'm really bad at building quads. It takes me a really long time. My own stuff. If I was building it for somebody else, then it would go a lot quicker. Rob Mellon says, can you say what you were doing in Utah? Did you get any personal flights in? I was filming like a advertisement commercial type stuff out there for a motorcycle company, and personal flights, not really, but like everything was kind of a personal flight, like because of the location that we were shooting. So every time like we reset or do anything, or it's cool. I just had subjects in my personal flight. You could look at it that way. It was really cool. I still use normal FR Sky and Mount Bunny ear style. Yeah, it's fine. If you're not like going far or anything, and you won't have any like fail safes, I guess that's okay. And if you like want less latency and everything, you can go Crossfire. Who else? Gosh, I wish like I could have another screen with all these, like the whole chat thing. This takes so long. Antoine FPV says, do you mess with 4S anymore? Not really. I haven't messed with it for a while. It's like 5S or 6S. I just haven't had a need really for 4S, except like I have a really small little tiny micro quad that I flew like 3 and 4S on. That's just because I can't put anything else on there or it'll explode. Jason Watts asks, camera angle. Thanks for answering. FPV cam is usually around, I'd say this is like 30 degrees. Wedge mount is at 30 degrees. if I do have to smash it any lower, I tilt my FPV cam down a little to match the field of view and for framing and everything. It's roughly always 30 degrees is what I fly at just permanently. But yeah, if I have to go really slow and I need to frame something, I just bring both of them down, probably 15 degrees, 20 to 15 degrees. And I'm usually shooting on wide when I'm doing that, so I don't have to worry about the props in view. If it's really low, like I said, I added this little like Tommy's little sticky thing to it just to bump it up a little bit higher. And it took the props out of view. Katie asked, do you get approached for commercial film work or look for the work? Both. Just got to stay hustling on it. It's the only way, especially right now. People still don't understand using FPV for production stuff. It's still like a hard thing for them to grasp sometimes. And then once they see it, they're like, they get it. Vaughn Zek says, what parts for your quad do you get for free and what do you have to buy? Well, I mean, if it's anything ethics related, obviously we could get that stuff just because we're making it and have money put into it anyways. So that stuff, yeah. Everything else, pretty much, like, if I need something, I'll just get it. Or even if I want something fast, if I don't even want to wait, like, I won't even hit up a company and, like, ask them for something free. I just get it. I just want it right away. I don't want to wait for someone's reply. Fahua FPVS, how much difference do you see between KISS V1 and KISS V2? I see quite a bit. Like I was saying earlier in this video, was my PID parameters opened up quite a bit with KISS V2. I could tune it like way better, much better. RB says, as a new pilot, would you recommend jumping right into 6S? Probably not. I would probably stick with like 4S, because 4S is like, you can handle everything still pretty good. And yeah, 4S is a good starter. 6S is like, if you know you like the hobby and you're going to stay in it for a while and everything, then make the jump into 6S. And yeah, because, I don't know, 6S batteries are a lot more expensive, and yeah, it'll be easier to learn on 4S, I believe. Antoine, 6S, oh yeah, see, yeah, other people agree, like 6S is just kind of a little more expensive. Yeah, 4S is pretty good. Joseph Jr., do you care about weight as much as steel does? Thanks for all your replies, dude. I do care about weight, but it's like different for me. Like, my quads are always heavier, but I usually run like a 6-inch prop or a 5.5-inch prop or something. I have a different setup, so I could run a heavier quad. He runs a like 6S 5-inch setup, and yeah, like 5-inch, just, he wants it. I mean, it's not that much difference. Like, what his weight is makes sense for 5-inch props. Like, my weight makes sense for 6-inch props. So yeah, I don't really run the heaviest quad. If you look, there's not much on here. I just have like a 4-in-1 stack, KISS V2 FC, Nano, Triumph, Evo, VTX, and a camera, and these motors. That's it. Not really a lot. I'm not really adding that much weight to it. And it's a 6-inch prop, so it's bigger, it's heavier. And I do run a Hero 7, where he usually still likes using the Session 5, but I run a way bigger stator prop to handle all that. So it's like, you know, pros and cons and like whatever. So any 7-inch Cougar action coming from you, or are you happy with the 6-inch setups? I'm happy with the 6-inch. I don't think I'm gonna go in a 7-inch. That's just not my realm of things. I'll leave 7-inch to the 7-inch guys, and I don't know. I don't think so. I think if I were going to do a 7-inch, I would just get like the Source One 7-inch, if I needed it. But yeah, I'm not gonna do like anything with the Cougar, because I want something I use all the time, and I want something I could just like be totally satisfied and happy with, saying like this works. If I don't use a 7-inch all the time, I'm not gonna tell people to use a 7-inch because it works or anything. I don't know. I don't run it all the time, so I can't stand behind it. I feel like, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to most people, but yeah, I don't want to just add a 7-inch arm to make a little bit of money if I don't use it. I just want to sell what I actually use and I could stand behind. Double A going back to work, buddy. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Thanks for the donation, Double A. I appreciate it. Hadley says I run 4.6 pitch, 5-inch on 5S moon boots. That's actually pretty good. That's really stable. I ran those like, you're talking about the green ones, right? Those green HQs. Probably what I'm thinking of. Those are pretty baller, and it's really stable, and your footage looks really good with it. Craig N, where do you see the hobby going with the rules and regulations? I don't know. I don't really care. Like, if they put rules and regulations, I'm still gonna fly and do everything exactly how I am. It's kind of dumb. I hate stuff like that. If you want to get anywhere, sometimes you gotta not worry about the rules and regulations. Ask for forgiveness later. How heavy is my quad? All up, hero and battery? I think last time I checked, it was like 830 grams, give or take, up or down, somewhere around there. Ian Goldberg, where's Toby? Toby's working. Toby runs like a big ass company. He's like, I don't know, 20 minutes from the shop over here. Antoine, respect on not trying to catch a market you don't have a passion in. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I have a passion in long range, but as long as like it's 6-inch long range, I still like doing it. But like, I don't have a passion in going like 7-inch 4 miles out and 4 miles back. I'll try and get a run as far as I can on 6-inch, not 6S, 6-inch as far as I could go, and kind of try and get like the same footage those guys are getting with what I can do. So yeah, I just don't have the passion for like the 7-inch thing. I don't want to be like a guy that's like testing everything and doing all this stuff and being like, here, I got like a 2-inch quad for you, 3-inch, a 4-inch, 5-inch, like every, all the way up to like a 10-inch quad for you. Like, which one do you want? Like, no, I don't want to be the guy that opens the jacket and has like all the watches and all this stuff. I want to like open the jacket and be like, this is the 3-inch maybe I use, or like the 4-inch, and this is the 6-inch I use, and I throw 5-inch props on it or something. Like just 2 options or something like that. Like an In-N-Out menu. You get a cheeseburger or you get a double-double. Take your pick. They're both good. How much do you want? How much do you want to poop? Do you ever get in a ranking? I don't really care about ranks. Any updates on the shop truck? Same as the last video I did. I was gone, so I wasn't able to work on it. Fahua FPV flying KISS long range. Do you get the OSD/GPS without the woof or steel PDB? Are you just using radio telemetry? I just use radio telemetry and my voltage. Look at waypoint type of things while I'm going, like markers while I'm flying. So when I turn around, I know exactly the same way I went up. And if I do ditch it, I try and ditch it in a location that I have something as a reference to that I know. And all this is mainly because I've never used, like, I do have actually one quad I could set up GPS with. I don't really use it that much. Like, I don't always bring it with me. So sometimes I just, just throw your quad out there. Honestly, when you're flying long range, you're already going like, hey, bud, I may never see you again. So nice knowing you. I hope you come back. That's basically what you're doing. Long range is pretty pretty ballsy. But yeah, lucky me if he says 6-inch gem fan bi blades, 6042 on moon boots on 5S 2700 milliamp hour batteries, 13 minutes. God damn. That's intense. That's so sick that I love hearing that these motors are just they're so efficient. That was like my main thing, like when I was making these, like choosing the right battery. I'm not the right battery, the right magnets and everything. I wanted it really smooth and really efficient and big enough stator to still have like power, and you could like be really smooth and go long range with it, and then you had a lot of power and you could rip like proximity. So yeah, like the moon boot motors are, I don't know, they're awesome. I love them. Amazing Ricardo, what is an R moon boots? They are these motors right here, come in a 2200 kV and a 1739 currently. That one's out now, low kV version. Get them at ethicsltd.com. Look at that. That was not a paid advertisement because, yeah, I'm not getting paid for it. Oh no, what kind of I am, but you know what I mean. It's not from somebody else. It's telling me to say it. That's proper flight time. Damn, I'm jealous. 4S 2750 here. I can. Yeah, it's crazy. These guys that get these long flight times. What do you do when you're flying that long? That's what I want to know. Just take your hands off the remote and just let it go. But all right. Well, I've been talking for 51 minutes now. I was trying to just shoot for like 30 on this one. This one's going for a while. All right. I'm probably going to end it here in like, what, let's go 55 minutes, so like 3 more minutes or something, and I'll probably end this little deal here. So if you guys have any other questions, let me know. But yeah, consistency with your quads and your rigs and everything. That's what you got to do. Don't. I'm just telling you. You could go and try stuff out and do whatever. That's totally fine. But just do that on like one quad, like a testing quad, for yourself, not on your like go-to, and you want to like actually get good and learn things. So yeah. When is the next podcast? We might record this weekend now that everybody's like back in town. Hadley's Famous FPV. Any word on the new cameras coming out? Which new cameras? Do you have to have a ham license to fly FPV? Absolutely not. You have to have a ham license if you were going to be unlocking like your VTX to use certain channels or pump out certain milliwatts. You don't have to. You don't have to have a ham license to fly FPV. But yeah, I guess that's it. Actually, I'll wait for Hadley to ask his questions, and then let's see. Tell Ruben to post a new wing video. I'm on a wing bit, dude. We've been bugging Ruben to post videos for a while. We tell him that every time we talk to him. Ruben's like super shy on like doing videos and everything. If you look at his videos, you never really see him, which is funny because like he's the funniest. Like I would watch Ruben videos like all day. I don't know why he hasn't been posting too much. But you guys, I don't know his name. He's on Twitch. He's been Twitch streaming like crazy. Like he plays Overwatch, I think it is, and like it's the best thing ever. Find him on Twitch. I don't know his Twitch handle. I'm gonna put it in my Instagram stories. Next time he's there, I'll put it in my Instagram stories. Tell everybody to go follow him. He needs way more people watching his Twitch. What was the I missed another one because I was getting all hyped on Ruben for a second there. Foxier FPV camera. Oh, those cams, I have no idea. I'm still using all my old CCD cams. I'm trying to hoard all these things because everything's going to CMOS. There's actually some good CMOS out there, but yeah, shoot, I don't know. I don't know what's a good camera right now. But yeah, anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I got a couple packages and things I need to finish up, get to the post office, and try and make it to go out to dinner tonight. So I'll see you guys later. Take care. Thanks for all the questions, and thank all of you for like the awesome donations. That was crazy. I'm gonna try and do this every week. Like I said, we'll have a topic, we'll all talk and hang out, and yeah, it'll be awesome.